Welcome back to The Price of Business. I am your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business. All right, I want to talk a little bit about, what's going on out there to help improve the edge, the game, if you will, for businesses out there when it comes to, making sure they're taking care of their clients. And so I'm delighted to have Lonnie Mayne with me, and he's with a very cutting-edge company called Mindshare. Big on technology, but done for relationship development. Isn't that true, Lonnie?
That's absolutely true, and I love the cutting-edge comment. We try to stay out front of this stuff.
By the way, Peter Piper Pizza was it's the same one I was thinking of. That was a pretty good place. My kids love that joint. I noticed that's one of your clients. You have, in fact, a big emphasis on retail and restaurants. I can see by your Hall of Fame of clients.
We do. That's right. Peter Piper is a great client of ours and one that cares a lot about the customer experience and making sure that they improve on it, day in and day out.
Yep. Mindshare. Lonnie, kind of give me your elevator speech of what Mindshare is all about. If you were introduced to someone, the first time, what would you say? Hey, tell me what Mindshare is all about.
Yeah, what we're all about, we're a software, a technology that gives the customer a voice. In the industry today, you hear the term voice of the customer, and it's become the competitive edge for a lot of companies. So what we do is there's an invite that's given from a business to give feedback on the experience that one might have just had. And so our software gives them the opportunity to give feedback. Most of that goes through the phone or even through the web, where specific questions are asked and the customer can respond to them. And then we have this really cool technology that takes open-ended comments, thousands of these comments every day, and is able to categorize those back to the business to basically to give the business, what the customer is saying about the experience they're having with the brands that they're interacting with.
Yep.
So it's a portal.
Okay, so kind of step me through it, take me through it step by step. So I go to the restaurant, I buy, a couple of tacos, a drink or whatever. Then they give me a receipt. On the back of the receipt, is that where they have the opportunity to respond?
Exactly, yeah. On the back of that receipt, there's a number of different modes, where we can invite people, but the receipt is probably the one that most people are common with. And so they can call into an 800 number, or they can go to a web address and give their feedback. And that feedback is basically on the experience, how they interacted with the atmosphere of the restaurant or the retail outlet, the quality of the food or the quality of the service. So a number of what we call structured questions are asked. And then we like to give the opportunity for the customer to leave an open-ended comment. So if that's through the phone, they're simply going to speak and talk about the experience, and then on the web, they're able to type in that experience. The minute they hang up the phone or they send or complete on the survey on the web, that information is live and accessible to the companies that we work with.
Okay.
So we talk a lot about, the focus on each individual customer, the sample size of one.
You mentioned
Peter Piper. Yeah.
You mentioned that that is one of your vehicles, the receipt. What are some of your other vehicles that you use to get that message across?
Yeah, we're able to set up customers can go to the website. If they go to a brand's website, want to give feedback, we take the feedback from there. We're able to take feedback from the social media world and pipe it into like our text analytics engine. And then in the contact center environment, we do a lot of work with contact centers. So when you're on the phone, maybe talking about your bill with a specific company at the end of that phone call, we can ask people if they'd like to give feedback. And we actually do an outbound dial. So a customer would opt in and say, absolutely, I had a great experience, or I didn't, and I want to give feedback about that experience. We can do an outbound dial, which is an automated dial back to the customer within just minutes of them hanging up, and get them into our system so they can have the opportunity to get feedback.
Now, I'm looking.
So there's a number of ways.
Yeah. Okay. And so I'm looking at your list of characters involved, the companies that you work with, which is probably not complete. This is probably the ones that would probably be most people would be aware of, I guess. These are your bigger companies, I would assume. What is the range in terms of size of a business that you can work with?
Yeah, we actually work with businesses that have 4 or 5 locations, all the way up to, thousands of locations. And the software is very flexible to be able to work at, the smaller level as well as the large level. So we really kind of cover the span. We're in 28 different vertical markets today. And really our top three are food service, retail, and then the contact centers. But we're in hospitality and we're in entertainment. You know, we're in a number of different businesses beyond that as well.
Yeah, every place where customers matter, it sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, companies today, they realize that the customers' opinions and the feedback that they want to give is absolutely essential and powerful to keeping their businesses viable. So you can listen to the customer, but more importantly, you have to act on that information that you're getting. And the clients that we work with, that's what they're focused on is, hey, if someone's had a bad experience and they want it changed, let's change it. Let's make it a better experience for them. And if they've had a good one, we want to know that too, because we know we're doing a good job, and it's nice to take that information and share it with our employees and let them know, hey, we're doing some good things here too. Let's focus on that as well.
Mm-hmm. Very good, very good. So you named your top three. You said it was restaurants, retail. What was the third one?
Contact centers.
Contact centers. Tell me how big number one is. How big is the restaurants in terms of the percentage of your business?
In terms of, it's pretty evenly split between the three of those as being our largest verticals that we're in. And we see different growth spurts. The retail environment, food service has really that's probably where most people are used to seeing surveys on a receipt, on a transactional basis. Retail is a growing market with the competitive nature, as well as with a lot of the online shopping that's going on right now, too, which is making the in-store experience that much more important. So you're seeing companies really going out of their way to enhance the experience, trying to get people out of the home and into the store, and creating a great experience there. And then the contact center market, that really covers the gambit of verticals, So when you're calling into a call center, it could be a retail call center, could be a food service call center, could be a medical or hospitality call center. So we get into a lot of businesses from there. Not to mention we're in 128 different countries. So we can collect feedback in, a number of languages, and actually the reporting, which is the power of the system, the information we give back to our customers, we can give that to them in multiple languages as well.
Talking to Lonnie,
many of the clients we work with are all over the world.
Yep, talking to Lonnie Mayne. He is with a company called Mindshare. You can look them up online at mshare.net. That's mshare.net. How many articles of feedback? There we go. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Do you get every month?
We get, to break it down on a daily basis, if I may, Kevin, we get about 140,000 pieces of feedback daily.
People sure are opinionated, aren't they, Lonnie?
Yes. They have an opinion. They have a voice.
So did you start the company?
I did not. Our CEO, John Sperry, and a gentleman by the name of Kurt Williams, our CTO, founded the company back in 2002. And it has just been a rocket ship of growth ever since. And, again, it's all about the customer. We do a tremendous amount of work with the employee feedback side of things, too. So many of these clients, we're doing the customer feedback. We're also doing their own employee feedback.
Lonnie,
they want to make sure that their employees are happy.
Enjoyed having you on. Lonnie Mayne, he's a Chief Experience Officer for a company called Mindshare, very innovative. You're wondering how they are taking care of your customer service. Here's a great window. Look at mshare.net. Lonnie, I'm going to put you on hold for just a minute. I want to get your email address to have a follow-up conversation with you. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Hey, thanks for your time. Great being on your show.
Yeah, I'm Kevin Price. When we come back, we're going to have much more for you. I do want to remind you the best content here often shows up over there at usatoreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter.